Hello everyone, I am Shikha. Now it's time to complete the question answer of those chapters which we have completed. Chapter number 1, The Land Where There Were No Old Man. Chapter number 2, George and Ranji. And poem number 1, Growing. We start with the question answer of chapter number 1, The Land Where There Were No Old Man. Question number 1 is, which 5 of the following statements are true? Here I have written only 5 statements which are true. First statement that is true is, the king did not mind sending old man away because he was young himself. Means the king was young, that's why he never mind to send each and every old man of his kingdom to send away from the kingdom. Means he did not like to keep any old man in his kingdom. Next is, after old man had been sent away, all kinds of troubles came upon the young people. This is another true statement from the chapter, that when all the old men from the kingdoms were taken out, then so many troubles started coming. Next sentence, the young man reaped where he had not sown. So this is another true statement, means the young man started reaping where he has not sown the seeds before. Number 4 statement, after being questioned repeatedly, young man told the king the truth. So this is another true statement. When the king started asking that how you grow the crop, who gave you this idea, then young man spoke all the truth about his father. Next statement, the king was grateful to the old man for having saved the life of the nation. So this is the last true statement from the chapter, that the king was very grateful for the old father of that young man who has given the advice to reap at that place where they have not sown the seed. Question number 2, the young man hid his old father in a cellar. How did this action help the country when it was in trouble? Did the young man know earlier that his father would be of use to the country? So in the question it is asked, when the young man hid his old father in a cellar, then how his father helped his country when the country was in trouble? And this thing young man knew before or not? The answer is, the young man hid his father in a cellar and his father saved the whole nation in the time of trouble. And no, young man did not know that his father would be of use to the country. So how the old man saved the nation? When the nation was in trouble of drought, at that time the young man's father helped the nation with his advice. Question number 3, what lesson do you think the young people of the country learned from this experience? Answer is, the young people learned that old men of the nation are full of wisdom who helped whole country in the time of trouble. So no old man should be sent out of the nation. So what lesson did all the people of that nation learned after getting over from the trouble by the advice of that old man? That old men are very helpful for a nation. We can take help of those old men when the nation is in trouble. So no old man should be sent away from the country. Question number 4, what would have happened if the young man's father had also been sent away? So young man's father was the only old person that young man's kept him in a cellar. So if he also would have been sent away, then what will be the result? Answer is, if the young man's father had also been sent away, then no one could be get recovered from the terrible drought, and all the creatures and people of the nation would have died. So what could be happen? They cannot get a recovery from the drought, the terrible drought that happened in the country, and all the animals and all the people would have died if there would have not been that old man of young man. Now we take the question answer from poem 1, Growing. Question number 1 is, who is the speaker in the poem? How can you tell? Answer is writer Tony Mitton is the speaker in the poem because besides child and parents who are not a speaker, only writer is there. The poem is in first person narrated by writer. So in this poem there are child and parents who have not spoken any statement, and all the poem is narrated by writer. And first person means I and me. So in the poem I and me shows the presence of writer. Question number 2. When the child becomes tall, what is that he or she will not be able to do, and what is that he or she will be able to do? The answer is when the child becomes tall, he or she will not be able to fit into the bed or fit in the hat, and he or she will be able to reach on the highest shelf. So, when the child becomes tall, then for him, bed or hat will be shorter, but he will be so tall that he can reach to the highest shelf. Question number 3 is when the child becomes really tall. Now we have to find out the right answers from these sentences. First is he or she will be taller than the tallest trees. Next is his or her hat will be up in the cloud. And next is his or her hat will be up in the space. And the last one is all of the above. So all the statements are right because all these are mentioned in the poem. Question number 4. When the child becomes a young adult, will he or she still be in his or her hometown and living with his or her parents? How do you know? The answer is when the child becomes a young adult, he or she still be in his or her town because he or she won't be too proud or utterly mad to visit to his or her parents and hometown. Means when the child become adult, even then he or she will come to their hometown and to live with their parents. Question number 5. Is there a lesson that the poem is trying to teach young boys and girls? What is that? The lesson that the poem teaches to young boys and girls is that when they will become successful, they should not forget their parents and hometown. So when we get success in our life, even then we should not forget our parents and our hometown. Why does the speaker use the following expression? In next question, some expression from the chapter has been given and we have to give the answer that why the writer had used those expressions. First is bend down. It is used because hometown is on low land. He or she has to bend down to visit there as he or she is very tall. So when the children became tall, they have to bend their bodies down to visit their homeland. That's why writer has used bend down. Next expression is tiny mom and dad. It is used because their child has become taller than them. So when the child grows taller, then their parents become tiny to them. That's why writer has used tiny mom and dad. Question answer from chapter number 2, George and Ranji. Question number 1 is, it usually happens at the approach of the cricket season it refers to. Answer is George escaping from the mental hospital he was admitted to and turning up at the writer house. So George likes to watch cricket match very much. So as the cricket season approaches, George reaches writer's house. Question number 2, no problem, I thought. Why was the writer not worried about George's actions? Answer is the writer was not worried about George's action because he will bundle George into a train and take him back to hospital. So writer was thinking it's okay, George has come to my home, but I will take him back to the hospital by train. Question number 3. George was given a certain amount of freedom there. What is there a reference to? Why did he get some freedom there? Answer is George was given freedom there because he was not violent. So George was given some freedom in mental hospital because he was not doing any type of harmful activity. Question number 4. George wanted to go to Delhi railway station Firoz Shah Kotla, but the writer wanted to take him to Delhi railway station Firoz Shah Kotla. Find out the wrong words. Answer is George wanted to go to Firoz Shah Kotla, that is a cricket ground, and writer wanted to go to Firoz Shah Kotla railway station. So both are having the same name. There is Firoz Shah Kotla cricket ground also in Delhi and Firoz Shah Kotla railway station. George wanted to go in Firoz Shah Kotla cricket ground, whereas writer wanted to take him to Firoz Shah Kotla railway station. Question number 5. Why did auto rickshaw driver head for the cricket ground and not the railway station? How did George convince him that it was indeed the writer who was mad? Auto rickshaw driver headed for cricket ground because George made a good impression on him by giving a winning smile and tapping his forehead as if writer is mad. So auto rickshaw driver was heading towards the cricket ground because George made a very good impression on him. He was smiling and tapping his forehead as if he wanted to show that the writer is mad. Question number 6. Who was crazy? George, me, or driver? Why did the writer ask himself this question? George was crazy. Writer asked himself this question as writer believed that dividing line between sanity and insanity is too thin for his own comfort. So writer was thinking, yes, indeed George was mad, and writer was thinking that there is a very thin line between the sanity. Sanity is called if you have the mental power to think, and insanity means if you don't have the mental power to think, and George was mentally weak. So writer was thinking that there is a very thin line between sanity and insanity. Next question. Why did writer jumped off rickshaw before it reached the Kotla? The writer jumped off the rickshaw because rickshaw driver could be violent towards him. Because according to rickshaw driver, writer was mad, and anytime rickshaw driver could show his anger, so writer jumped off the rickshaw. And the last question is, George is mentally ill, but he is also a likable person. Do you agree? Find examples from the story in support of your answer. Yes, I agree that George is a likable person as he had returned mental hospital of his own accord after watching his favorite sport of cricket. So George was a very likable, is called pleasant person, because he himself returned to mental hospital, though he was mentally weak, but he never harmed anyone, and he was very fond of cricket match. So here we have completed the question answer of chapter number 1, chapter number 2 and poem number 1 of class 5. So that's it for now. We'll meet again.